Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is May 1st, 2023, and today is Monday morning. So welcome back, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. Now, looking at the highlights of the day, Microsoft and Facebook continue to climb higher. But first, looking at the major economic events of today. So we got a big week ahead, but for today, we have at 4 p.m. South African time, ISM Manufacturing PMI numbers coming out from the United States. I'm looking at the various markets, starting with the Forex symbols. The Japanese yen continues to sit on resistance, while looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ continue to climb higher. Looking at commodities, gold breaks down and sells off, while oil remains unchanged. Now, looking at the stocks, once again, the tech stocks are leading the markets higher. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin yo-yos lower. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start with the Japanese yen, and you can see it is hugging that resistance level, a 200-day moving resistance level. So this is really very important, because if it does break out higher, 136, and it's breaking out higher. Now remember, we have a FOMC rate statement from the United States on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we have out of the Eurozone, the Central Bank of Europe will be coming out with its main refinancing rate. Now look at that, just taking off. Now this is following last week's monetary policy that was published from Japan. And looking at it right now, it means that the Japanese yen is significantly lower and weaker than the dollar. Okay, now it's getting to that resistance level. Now when we look at the major pairs, the euro, not doing much, just hanging around that resistance level. GBP also hanging around that resistance level. But on the flip side, it's getting stronger versus the dollar. Now, if the dollar comes back and we do have some sort of positive news for the FOMC rate statement this Thursday, that means we'll have a bit of a change here in the markets. Now, looking at the commodities, starting out with gold, it's just trading at 1980, bottom of the range. Not a big deal, okay? But just remember this, it's been trading between 2000-ish level and 1980-ish level for quite some time. So it is at supportish area. As long as it doesn't break 1950, okay, we are in a supportish area, and we're just range bound trading, at least for now. Now looking at crude oil, not doing much, okay, at $75 a barrel. After that fill in the gap, we're just kind of finding ourselves right now. Now looking at the US markets, they both rallied higher, starting out with the Dow Jones. Look at that. Massive move, okay, 1,000-point move over the past week on the upside after these FANG stocks came out with their earning reports. And you can see slowly but surely the markets are responding quite aggressively on the upside. However, okay, there's always a but afterwards, and you have to keep this in mind. If we are going into recession, that doesn't mean everybody's going to go and feel recession, but the markets will respond at a certain point. So keep that in mind as this is still unfolding. Now looking at the US NASDAQ market, okay, which is really a very strong market, it's also at 13,345. Now it's at resistance, okay, so is the Dow Jones. So as long as the Dow Jones doesn't break above 35,000, we're still going to retrace at some point. So keep that in mind. Also here in the NASDAQ. So this may be a rally until Wednesday, and then we'll see some sort of tapering off. Now looking at the individual stocks, Apple continue to see a push higher. Okay, now they're not going to give it to you. It's going to just be bits and pieces. But Apple is pushing the markets higher. Facebook is pushing the market higher. Let me see that. Let's take a look at that as well, right? We had a week where we continuously, okay, I'm going to look at a 1 hour chart because I think it's more important. We had a gap up, massive gap up from $200 up to $240. And now we're at $240 and we're holding it, meaning it's not selling off. So today and going into this week, it's going to be a really massive week for these stocks because it'll really show us whether or not this is sustainable at these levels. Now, looking at the other stock that's been amazingly strong, Microsoft, look at that on its highs, dead highs, as it's making that way higher. Remember, now this gapped up to 295 and it gapped and it went, okay? So going up higher is really a clear indication that this has gotten much stronger. Now, lastly, looking at JP Morgan, also rebounding here, not filling in the gap. So it's not just the tech stocks that are strong, but also some of the banks, which is, you know, kind of indicative of maybe we'll skirt recession, maybe. I don't know. Okay. And lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just yo-yoing between 30-ish thousand and 28,000. We're right now at 28,600. So keep that in mind as this is still unfolding. and still happening. Okay, and just range bound trading. So if you are in front of the computer most of the day and you can range bound trade and do a quick scalp, this is an opportunity to do it. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day.